Hello everybody, it's your boy Mark here. Now it's just a wee bit before midnight, so I thought, you know what, I might as well make this update video because, if I'm being honest, a lot has happened. So, right off the bat, a lot has actually happened on the tail end of the semester. So I finally got out of academic suspension for the music department, which means I can continue on and keep doing more and more of the things that I like, and it's just a relief that the mistake of being an RA doesn't change my career path or my education completely. But not only was that decided, but before that, I actually tested positive for COVID-19. And, well, when I tested positive, that was on a Monday of the last couple of days of finals, and it was the Monday afternoon, and I'm like, I'm feeling horrible. I have this pounding headache, my throat is dry, I'm coughing really hard and stuff like that. They test me, and in the waiting area I get called over, and then in this little private space, the person shows me the paper. It's highlighted and says positive, and they're like, here's the numbers that you should call. Not the right numbers, but I appreciated the thought, but wasn't super helpful in that kind of moment. And then I called the numbers to say, hey, I tested positive. I'd like to reach out on what my quarantine situation would be. I'd like a response as soon as possible. Boom. And then it took them hour and a half. So I'm mid-packing before this, because I know you have the choice of quarantining off campus or on campus. I was living on campus, and I don't have a nearby family, and not only that, I wouldn't want to infect my family with it, so on campus is the only thing I could do. So then I get the call, I respond, and I'm like, hey, I'd like to do the quarantine in one of the separate residential halls and stuff like that. So then I'm there. I found out that they delivered food before I got there, so that meant I didn't get any food from them. So then I'm like, I called the number of the person that reached out to me before. I was like, so how do I get food? I haven't eaten today. And they're like, you haven't? You didn't go to Debo or anything? I was like, no, I was having symptoms of what am I supposed to do with that? But so then I asked them if there's any way they could get somebody just to send me something. Luckily they did. Wasn't great. I found it very quickly within the time that I was there, which was 5 days, really. Friday morning was when I was just like, okay, I signed up to move out of my hall, so I gotta, unless something can be done about that, that's when I have to be gone. And luckily my roommate was already gone at this point, so I got my food. That was disappointing, and kind of just went through my exams online. And that included a performance assessment, the thing that was deciding whether or not I would still be in academic probation to either be kicked out of the music department or, back in good standing. And there was a problem with that, which was when I was tested, I didn't have my instrument with me. I had an on-campus locker, so it just didn't have the option because I didn't want to infect anybody. I mean, this is what I assumed the protocol was, which was to avoid, after finding out you're positive, avoid running around and being near people maskless and stuff like that. Once I got my instrument and stuff like that, I reached out to my professor and said, hey, I got my instrument, and this is the night before I have to perform this thing, and I'm already coughing up some very gross mucus and other stuff and phlegm and just mixture of gross things. I remember throwing up a couple times. That was not great. Sorry, TMI YouTube. But long story short, not a great time. Meals are crap. I watched through a ton of anime, and it was a lot of time spent being in one room, and it was not fun. And then I moved out, got into this place, my new living situation, which is a house with 5 other people. And I gotta say, it's super nice, and I'm happy about that. Pretty much now I'm off to working and getting back on to doing YouTube stuff. And when I started getting into all that, I realized, oh jeez, I just finished this series. I just finished that series. A lot of stuff that you're going to see either done by now or in the near future. Like, I think it was like 3 games that I'm like, oh, the series is done on this, or I finished the game, or I'm going through the DLC content and there's so much left to do, or whatever. But like, realizing I'm on the tail end of a lot of series, so this is the perfect time for that. Summer, when I have a lot of time, really, on my hands, and that means I'm going to be swapping out some slots with the ending series with some new games. Yeah, really, I'm just focusing on working, saving up some money for a new saxophone, and paying rent, and really just keeping myself busy and doing good things. So I guess that's kind of my update on what's going on, and yeah, other than that, I'm just moving on forward. So I hope you all are happy to see more content and more different content. Oh yeah, I'm also totally gonna be doing a lot more Stephen Plays kind of poop post about pizza. And yeah, without further ado, I just hope you all enjoyed this little update, and you know what to do if you liked it. So, toodles.